Hello my dear students, this video is in the series of the reproduction. So one more interesting asexual reproduction kind, that is regeneration. Before going to study, once again we can recapitulate what are the different types of reproduction. So as we know, reproduction is basically of two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So in the case of asexual reproduction, there is no any gamete formation and gamete union of gamete is not there, whereas in the case of sexual reproduction, gamete union will be there. So asexual reproduction is of different kinds. One is fission, second one is a budding, third one is a fragmentation and a regeneration. Fragmentation and regeneration. Fission is of two types. One is binary fission, second one is a multiple fission. Binary fission is of two kinds. What is that one? Longitudinal binary fission, transverse binary fission. Longitudinal binary fission is seen in euglena, whereas transverse binary fission is seen in a paramecium. One more, oblique binary fission is also seen in some kinds of dinoflagellates, and in amoeba also we can find binary fission in any plane. After that, multiple fission, that is seen both in amoeba and plasmodium. So next one is a budding, that is seen in hydra, that we studied in the previous video. In the last video we saw in previous videos binary fission, then budding we have seen. In this video we are going to see how regeneration happens, what are the different kinds of animals in which we can see regeneration, that is a budding, that is hydra is there. Next, flatworms or planaria are there. Next one is earthworm is there. So that is followed by starfish is there. So next, different kinds of animals are there, salamanders are there, lizards are there. So those things we are going to study in this video. Okay. Here we are going to study one important concept of biology, cell biology, that is totipotency. Totipotency is a cell's ability to differentiate into other cell types. That means one cell is going to be evolved into or differentiated into or developed into or formed into different kinds of cells. For example, after fertilization, zygote becomes a embryonic cell. That embryonic cell, see, one kind of cell differentiates into brain cell, that differentiate into liver cell, heart cell, then kidney cells, skin cells, intestinal cells. So like that, different kinds of cells will be formed from one kind of cell. That capacity of the cell is called totipotency. Totipotency is the property which is meant for formation of different kinds of cells, and also this regeneration. The power of regeneration is also due to this totipotency. So regeneration, because of totipotency, regeneration is possible among different kinds of animals. Regeneration is a process of renewal, and that is new kind of cells formation, restoration, and a growth of organisms from a loss. So a bit of a organism will develop into another organism, that is renewal. If some part of the animal is lost, so that part will be restored and repaired, and growth of organisms from a loss can occur. So through regeneration. So totipotency is the basic property which is responsible for regeneration in animals. Even in human beings, if we lose some cells, those cells will be regenerated. That is called healing of wounds. Healing of wounds. If we get some injury, so that part will be regenerated. But total organism or a total organ is not regenerated in human beings, but this is seen in lower organisms, and even in some lizards we can see different kinds of regeneration. That's structure of a hydra. So before going to understand how regeneration takes place in hydra, it is better to know. So it belongs to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Nidaria, class Hydrozoa, that we studied in the last class. So what are the basic parts? The first part is a basal foot or disc, then middle piece, that is followed by the anterior most part, that is a hypostome, then a number of tentacles around the mouth of the hydra. It will be like this. If some part is fragmented, that part is going to be developed into another hydra. How it happens, we can see here regeneration in hydra. So one hydra is there, so accidentally it is divided into two parts by any other organisms. When any other animal bites it, it may be split into two parts. So each part will get separated from each other. So then what will happen? The anterior part and posterior part both will be developed into a fully formed hydra. So this is an excellent kind of regeneration in hydra. So here mother hydra, accidental fragmentation, so regeneration of fragments, then finally regeneration of fragments into a fully formed, see, separation of fragments followed by regeneration of organisms. Like this it happens. So hydra can be regenerated into fully formed another hydra, a daughter hydra. So this is a kind of regeneration. Very interesting how it happens in a flatworms we are going to see. Next we study how the structure and regeneration process in flatworms. Flatworms also belong to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat, helminth means worm, flatworms. Its class is a planaria. So flatworm is like this. It is like a very flat and ribbon like things. So at the anterior end eye spots are present, two eye spots. That bulged protuberance is called a sensory lobe, or auricle. So how the regeneration happens? Regeneration in flatworm. So when one flatworm get accidentally split into two parts or three parts also, whatever. So each part will again regenerate. First separation will take place. After the separation, each fragment of the flatworm will be regenerated into a fully formed flatworm. So mother flatworm followed by accidental fragmentation, separation of fragments, and regeneration of fragments. Similar to that of the hydra, regeneration takes place among flatworms. Flatworms are somewhat more evolved than a hydra. We call them as a planarians. In this also we can find a regeneration. So next we see how the regeneration takes place in earthworms. Structure of earthworm. Classification: kingdom Animalia, because they are animals. Phylum Annelida. Annelida, the word comes from annulus. Annulus means segments. So segmented worms comes under the phylum Annelida. Class Clitellaria, because these animals have one thickened skin-like structure called clitellum. So next subclass is Oligochaeta, because they consist of locomotory organs called setae. Animalia, because they are animals. Annelida, because they have segments. Clitellata, because they have clitellum. Oligochaeta, because of the presence of locomotory organs called seta. So then order Opisthophora. So if earthworm, the basic structures I have given, so many parts are there, only few parts I have given. So first outer anterior most narrow pore is called mouth. So that a thick structure you can see beyond 23rd segment, that is called clitellum. Next, so many segments you can see on the body, all along the surface of the earthworm you can see segments or divisions. So then at the end, so iris or excretory pore is present. Like this the structure of earthworm. It also shows regeneration with a certain limits. Here some limits are there. What are those limits? We can see beyond 23rd segment. Beyond 23rd segment, this point we have to keep in our mind. This we have not seen in hydra and flatworms. There any segment, any part, any bit, any fragment can be regenerated, but here it is not like this. So earthworm, so when earthworm accidentally gets separated like this, so only that part which is beyond 23rd segment, before 33rd segment, you can see this. So this is a segment that will only gets regenerated into fully formed earthworm. This is the important point we have to keep in our mind. So earthworms, accidental fragmentation, regeneration of a fragment, regeneration into an earthworm, only segment beyond 23rd. This is very important. This 23rd and beyond, there is very weak capacity of regeneration, because in these segments reproductive organs are present. So more organs, more differentiation is there. Here a little bit difficulty occurs when earthworm gets fragmented. Okay, this is very important. Beyond 23rd segment, a very weak power of regeneration. Before 23rd segment, very good. That also, that again, 7th segment onwards, 6 by 7 to 23. So good regeneration capacity is there among earthworm. Next we see how it occurs in starfishes. So next one, structure of starfish, a very basic structure and its a basic classification. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Echinodermata. Echinus means thorns, mullu. So derma means skin. The skin with skin full of thorns is there on the surface of the body of these animals. That's why they are classified under Echinodermata. Next one, its class is a Asteroidea. Aster means star. Star fishes, sun fishes, sun stars. So all these things comes under Asteroidea. So if one starfish, the basic structure only two parts I have given. The externally appearing parts, madreporite, and arms, about 5 arms are present here. So these are the basic parts of starfish. How regeneration occurs? Here is different, a little bit different. See, when one arm is it has lost one arm, some other animal has eaten away a part of arm. So what will happen to that arm? That arm again slowly develops, the elongation is occurring. So then finally a fully formed arm will takes place. Like this regeneration takes place in starfish. Starfish, accidental cutting down of an arm, regeneration of the lost arms. So regenerated arm. So lizards, they also belong to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, because they consist of a cord-like structure. Nerve cord is present on the back of these animals. So they all comes under Chordata. They are vertebrates. So previous animals, whatever we have studied, they are invertebrates. So they don't have vertebral column. Here a vertebral column is present. Class Reptilia, order Squamata. Order is a Squamata. So here you can see on lizard how the regeneration occurs in lizards. So lizard is there. Once some snake comes or human beings wants to touch its tail, it leaves its tail and run away. It leaves its tail and run away. It leaves a part of its body, that is a tail, to the mercy of the snake. Snake gets satisfied with the tail. Before catching the tail, the animal will run away from the enemy. So that is that process is called autotomy. We studied this in the first video. So next one, so it has lost its tail, and the tail is slowly developing. So tail is slowly developing. So tail is get separated. So next one, slowly the tail starts developing. Then again the regeneration of tail occurs. So this process we call as a autotomy. a very important point for the different examinations. So autotomy is seen in lizards, and also in starfish also we have seen, if one part is one arm is lost, that will be regenerated. This process is called autotomy. Autotomy is mostly related to the tails. Okay, so after this you draw the diagrams and share the video with your friends, with a near and a dear. Okay. Okay, thank you. In the next video we are going to study sexual reproduction. Okay, thank you.